Merry Christmas, everyone. I trust that you all had the magical day that you deserve. I'm dropping in on you today because I have a really big gold nugget that I want to share with you. As we're moving from 2024 into 2025, we all know that it's this time of the year that, well, most of us anyway, we come to the end of the year and we think to ourselves, next year it's going to be different. I'm going to give up this next year. I'm going to do that next year. Maybe we've been inspired by something that we've seen or something that we've heard. And we think to ourselves, that's a great idea. I really want to do that. I really want to be that. And then we make an intention for ourselves and we say, New Year's resolution, I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to be that next year. Or maybe it's something that it's external that we're thinking about where we're wanting to please someone else or meet somebody else's expectations. Maybe we might think, if I improve in this area, they'll love me more, or they'll approve of me, or they'll think that I'm enough. So as we have these thoughts and these revelations, we we get loaded up with enthusiasm and we're just so convinced that this time it's going to be different. And so we go and we tell everyone. And then as the clock strikes midnight and the new year rings in, we're ready to go. We're armed with our hope, our excitement, the shared promises of all the other people around us, and in we go. We dive into our resolutions. We launch into new projects. We start giving things up, and we stop doing the things that we have discovered are no longer serving us. And then comes, January 12th. January 12th is commonly but uncommonly known as Quitter's Day. So this is when our enthusiasm starts to falter. And by mid-February, most people have abandoned their goals. In fact, it's estimated that only 9% of people successfully stick to their resolutions. And if our goal is not truly ours, then it's absolutely no wonder that they feel so heavy and impossible to sustain because they lack that personal meaning that fuels that long-term motivation. So what happens next? Well, we beat ourselves up, don't we? We feel like we've let ourselves and everybody else around us down. I know this because I've been guilty of this myself. But the real question to ask here is why? Why do so many of us struggle with the promises that we make to ourselves? Now, I've got a really interesting idea that I want to float with you. I believe that most of us do this because we create our goals and our dream lives backwards. So we approach them from a place of scarcity, focusing on what it is that we don't have. A trim, healthy body, the energy to bounce out of the bed in the morning, the dream job that we've always wanted. Or we create them in a mindset of restrictions and limitations. I don't have enough time. I'm not good enough. This isn't for me. People like me don't achieve this sort of a thing. So these limitations build a mindset of scarcity and fear. So instead of dreaming from a place of abundance, of possibility, we start from what's missing, what's wrong, and what's holding us back. So I want to get you to ask yourself, am I using my mind backwards? Am I looking at my goals through the lens of what I don't have? Am I playing it safe? Am I telling myself that I'm not good enough anyway? Do I believe that these things happen for other people, but they just don't happen for me? And I think that the most important question of all that we need to ask is, am I emotionally connected to what I truly desire? Can you feel it when you think about it? Do you get butterflies when you visualize your dream or your goal? Or does doubt creep in? The kind that says, well, I'd like to, but I just don't know how. What about if we flip the script? What if instead of being stuck in what we don't have, we imagine our future self, the person who already has achieved those goals, and we're stepping into what we do have? The key is in the future you. I want you to close your eyes for a minute and I want you to visualize what it is that you truly desire. And now I want you to ask yourself, do I feel the lack of it? A yearning absence? Or do I feel the joy, excitement, and fulfillment of being right here, right now, in that moment, living that life? Now, if your mind goes to lack, I want you to ask yourself this. Why? Why do you want this? Why do you want to be thinner or fitter or happier, in a better job, or whatever it is that you desire? Write it down. Write down your why. Now, when you're writing down your why, make sure it belongs to you, not to anyone else. This isn't about seeking validation or approval from others. This is about what lights you up, what makes you feel alive. The future isn't someone else's vision, it's yours. And once you've done that, see yourself for the person who has achieved it. The thinner, the fitter, the happier, the one in the dream job, whatever it is that you desire. Who is this person? What is the outcome for you? Visualize it, feel it, embody it. This is your future you. But let me tell you something. This future you just doesn't appear on January 12th. You don't just wake up and one day, bingo, you've become that person. The future you is something you build, something you believe in, something you work toward. And that starts now. From this moment forward, every action, every thought, every decision, ask yourself, would my future you say, do, feel, think, or act this way? Because here's the truth. Your thoughts and actions today create the patterns for your tomorrow. Every day, I check my motivations against my future self. Would my future self be happy with this decision? Is this something that my future self would say or do or accept? So as you step into this new year, don't just make promises. Instead, make a commitment to your future self. Build them, believe in them, become them. And as you move forward, remember this, every step counts, no matter how small. Progress is not about perfection, it's about persistence. The future you isn't asking you to be perfect, they're simply asking you to keep going. So when you face challenges, and you will, pause and reconnect with your why. Revisit the vision of your future self and let them guide you. They're already waiting for you, cheering you on, because they exist in every choice you make today. So this year, don't just set resolutions, set intentions grounded in love for yourself and belief in your journey. The future you is closer than you think. All you have to do is begin. So have a happy and safe new year, and I'll look forward to seeing you and your future self in 2025.